are in the chat and those who are going to be watching now and later. Let's get into it. This is for Taurus. I'm actually anxious. What is this? What do they need to know? Ooh, 5 of Cups. Somebody wants some forgiveness. Someone wants forgiveness here. This is what it says. Forgiveness is an important part of healing. Forgive yourself and those around you for any mistakes of the past so that everyone can move forward. Okay, now this is a little complex. Okay, because forgiveness sometimes could be just like, I forgive you and I'm going to move on. Forgiveness could be, I have to forgive myself for even allowing me to even put up with that with you. Okay, and this could be with anybody. Remember, this part of the reading is for everything, right? Forgiving yourself of allowing someone to do something that you didn't approve of, but you allowed it to happen, right? Forgiveness could be someone coming back, and just like this person on this picture, they are like, baby, I want you. They're begging, baby. They're down on their knees. And so again, you can forgive them, but that doesn't mean you have to take them back. But that is what you're going to be facing. That is what you're going to be facing. Okay. At the bottom of the deck, it literally says, this is time when you can do whatever you want. If you set your mind to it, if you open up your heart, you're being asked to do a lot of things at once. Your mind, it says you won't mind as long as you know that you're making a difference. Now with this is like the ace, the page of wands. There's going to be a lot of busyness here. A lot of you are going to be, some of you guys are working with children. That's something that I'm seeing. And that could have something to do with children's father, okay, child's mother. This could be someone in a family. They may have spanked your child, right? Because we already know that right there, it just depends on what has happened. But for some odd reason, I see with that page, especially with this little kid on here, I feel like it may have something to do with children. Okay. Maybe you have to forgive yourself because of neglect. Maybe you felt like you weren't as good of a parent as you could have been to your child, or it's something that you did that you hate that you did, right? But like I said before, I do feel like there's some regret here on someone's end. Let's keep going. This is for Taurus. Taurus. Professionalism. Some of you guys are definitely dealing with a King of Cups, King of Water. Okay. This is what it says. This is crazy because this usually don't come out, and I want to pull another one because this may not really pertain to you, but I want to tell you why that came out, and it may be of importance. Ooh, that's the reason why they wanted me to pull again. That's what the forgiveness is there for. Look at this. It came out again. Damn. That's why they wanted me to pull. They wanted me to get to this part of the reading. That's why. And there it is. Okay. I want to read the professionalism. This just talks about people in your professional circles are watching you. So be professional, be as professional as you can, be as brilliant and as gifted and as skillful as you can, because for some odd reason, I feel like this could actually put you in places that you normally won't go in. So I don't want to avoid this card. I really don't, because this is actually really good. And I know sometimes people, when they get to work, they don't act as professional as they could. Or they may be a little lackadaisical in their job. It literally says people are watching you, and people who may actually have the means to get you out of certain situations or put you in certain places. That's all I want to say about that. Okay. But I see why they told me to move it. Wow. There is a lack of reciprocity. And no wonder there's a one-sided relationship here. You're not going to get someone's full attention if they're giving their attention to somebody else. Now, Taurus, you could be accused of this. You could be accusing somebody else of this. It just depends. But I'm just going to read it. It says, someone is interfering in your love life, sometimes in friendships too, in relationships. It says someone, oh, I didn't even know this was on this card. Listen to this. It says someone is watching what you are doing. Now, this could be you watching someone else because you are the third party. You guys already know I go there. Okay. I talk to too many of y'all behind the scenes. Okay. I'm just telling you. It definitely can go the other way. And I'm not judgmental. It definitely can go the other way. But here it literally says someone is watching. Baby, that means that if you're just sitting here, you chilling, you think that you're in a monogamous relationship, you're not even none the wiser. You may start to feel that your person is acting different, but then there's somebody that's all up on your social media. There's someone who's watching you at your work because maybe there's someone that you're dating there or something like that. Oh yeah, they got their eyes all up on you, trying to see what you know and what you don't know, trying to see how they can move. Okay, that's what this is basically saying. It says protect what you love. Protect what you love. Petty competitions can create enemies. That can happen even with friends. Some of y'all got people around you pretending to be friends. Oh, they pretend, oh, we all cool, buddy, and all the other stuff. All of a sudden, they starting to change on you, starting to turn up, and you like, why? Why are you turning around on me like that? You trying to figure out what the hell is going on, and it's because you are on and popping, which is the reason why that professionalism came out, because it already said that something big is about to happen for you anyway. People got their eyes all on you. You don't even know these people are watching. You don't even know what the hell is going on. You're just minding your business. You got people in good light watching you. Like I said, you got, people in the higher ranks or people who are just interested in you and your skills and talents and abilities. And they're like, hey, I want a part of that, right? Those people are watching you. But then you also have people who are trying to figure out how they can get what you got. And sometimes people do this intentionally. So yes, it will be a lack of reciprocity in relationships. A balance of give and take is vital to keeping any relationship healthy. So this is an omen that attention is needed on the effort of you or them giving and receiving in connections. Set clear boundaries. Do not accept less than what you deserve, and do not let anybody else ride your coattail. Let's go ahead. You could be dealing with a water sign. This is for Taurus. Gotcha. Ooh, you got 11th house that came out and 5th house. Hello. 11th house is amazing. It talks about friends. Here it is again with friends. People of your tribe. That's the 4th card that talked about friends. And some of this stuff is, especially, when it talks about competition, you're like, I'm not in the competition with my friends. I'm not in competition with you. I'm being me. But the thing is that not everybody thinks like you. Not everybody is level-minded. Okay? Now, in a good light here, though, the 11th house talks about hopes and wishes. Now, we just talked about the whole professionalism, right? We talked about how there's people who are watching you. Something good is going to happen there. And then also, the 5th house talks about dating and romance. So part of that wish fulfillment, not just dealing with your work and career, is going to be what? Love. Okay. Here it says romance, parties. For some of you, part of your hopes and wishes are children. The 5th house talks about children. 5th house is dating, having fun, and joy, right? Entertainment, that type of thing. This looks good. But yeah, let's get into the tarot. That's what you guys needed to know. I think I already talked about money. If I see anything dealing with finances, I'll tell you, but this is the love portion. This is for Taurus. There we go. The 3 of Wands in reverse. Somebody from the past that you have not talked to is watching you. Here it is again. If this is like this, right? But this is really like this. Someone watching from a distance. Let's be for real here. Told you. It said it in this card. I could tell somebody's watching you. And I can tell you who it is. It's someone that you know. Maybe it could be a friend that you stopped talking to, all up in your damn business. But it's definitely what we're talking about love here. Oh, yeah, it's definitely a lover. Oh, it's definitely a lover. And see, the problem here is that, unfortunately, you did something that they didn't expect. The way that you cut them off when we were talking about boundaries, it looks like that they were possibly waiting for you to communicate and you did not. And so they're not going to wait any longer. Three of Wands in reverse talks about they're about to plan to come towards you. Like they are making plans to come towards you because they're not waiting any longer. Like I watched long enough. Taurus ain't about to make a move. So this is the reason why they're headed towards you. And this thing is that when they do, you're not, now with this is love. When they do, I don't see you saying, no. I see you kind of like trying to decide what you want to do when it comes down to this particular person. Because maybe this could be someone who hasn't been around in years. Or it may be someone that has been around and it wasn't that bad, but you are just unsure about them. But that's where you're going to be. Let's get it. This is for Taurus. You got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. This is crazy because most of y'all want connections, but I just don't feel like you guys are ready, or you're just, you know how like you put your all into people, or when you're starting to date, you're enthusiastic about it. I'm not necessarily seeing the enthusiasm. I'm not seeing the enthusiasm. I feel like y'all, like I'll talk to them, talk to them or whatever. But it's not like you are just so ready to be in a relationship. Some of you are ready, right? But, when the Seven of Pentacles is in reverse, it's like you are not necessarily ready to invest everything. Maybe because you're tired, or maybe because you're busy with working career. There's other pressing issues or something like that. I don't see you investing too much in love. I'm sorry. I just don't. But there are people who are around. And I feel like this is you now making a decision to not make that your priority, even though the opportunity is here. I just don't see you making it that your priority, especially maybe how you used to back in the day. I just don't. Now, like I said before, part of the dating and the competition is multiple people for you as well. So I don't want you to think it's other people, but I definitely see different people here. And the thing is, it's like you taking your time, but I don't see you rushing. But there is definitely some secrets, honey. Some of y'all finding out something through a dream. I used to hear people say that. I'm talking about when I was little. I used to hear people say that. And it's so true. It's actually true. Okay. I saw my divorce in my dream. And it's funny. I saw my divorce in my dream 7 years before it happened. Okay. So yeah, when I tell you I see far. I didn't know what I was watching. I didn't know what I was looking at. Okay. But some of you are actually, and I wasn't as developed as I am now. But some of you guys are going to actually see something in a dream. And then, I don't know, you're going to be at a certain place, going to be around, and then that's how you're going to find out. Okay. This is for Taurus. Let's get it. Oh, I do not like that Knight of Swords in reverse. I do not like that crap. You know how somebody could be really, really pushy? They can be really, really pushy. And you're wondering why, and this is like, and sometimes this could be new people, right? Like, let's say you're dating and, it could be considered as love bombing. You're like, oh, but you can't tell, right? Like they're overdoing it, but not doing it too much. This is the energy that I get because it's hard to read this person. And I'm gonna be honest, the Knight of Swords with what I see at the bottom of the deck, it's hard to read because you don't know if they're excited or if they're faking, if they're just trying to get something from you. And that's another reason why I see that you're like, okay, we'll see how it works. Like, I love your energy. You're so laid back. Because before, I just don't think that you were that way. I think that you had this anxiousness that you really wanted something to work. And I think now you're kind of like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm going to do what I have to do on my end. but I'm not going to be giving too much to someone. I love it, right? And this almost makes this person uncomfortable because they don't know how to really move with you. They don't know how to really work with you. And that's a good thing, right? But the Knight of Swords in reverse could be a little rushy, a little pushy. Just be careful. And again, it could be a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, because I see water everywhere here. It could also be a air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. But yeah, you got somebody from your past coming back up in here, and baby, they are on a straight rocket. On a straight rocket. Because it almost feels like maybe they're turning around. Like they thought that, when people feel so arrogant, like I don't have to be in this connection. Yeah, I don't have to be with you, or I want something else, or there's someone else or something else I'm choosing. And they're just so convinced of it, right? And then all of a sudden it hits them and then they rush back into your life. That's what this feels like. It's like this person's like, oh hell no, wait, let me hurry up and get back to Taurus. Taurus, you're like, I don't give a damn, right? I'm not even caring about that right now. This is the reason why I say for some of you, this could have been a while, since this person was in your life. And this could also be someone new. Like I said before, this could be a new energy. And because you've been through so much, you just like chill. You're tempering the situation. Absolutely amazing, by the way. Here you have the Six of Cups in reverse. You definitely got somebody from the past here. Baby. And I'm not saying that they're apologizing, but they are trying to slither their way back in. Little by little, sending little texts here and there. Good morning. How was your Christmas? How's your family? How's the kids? I was thinking about you. Remember we went to this place. Because, Six of Cups talks about memory, right? It talks about, reminiscing. They start sending stuff, start reminiscing. Remember when this happened? That's how they're going to get you. And that's if they're going to get you. Because for a lot of you, they may do this, but because you're so over it, and I'm going to be honest, because you're so over it, you're just like, yeah, that's nice. That's nice. See, they had their human experience with other people. And now they've come to some weird reality that they can't necessarily leave you the way that they thought that they could. And now they're in a panic. Because it's a reckless way of coming back with the Knight of Swords in reverse. It's kind of panicky. Right? Now they see that you have competition. Now they see that somebody else is around. They're like, whoa, hold up now. Hold up. What you mean? What you mean you with somebody else? And they could have been watching the whole time. I told you somebody could have been watching the whole time. They knew they were wrong for how they treated you. And they were just watching you. Oh, they not with nobody yet. They not with nobody yet. And they never knew because you are a Taurus and you keep your life private. Like we told you before, you keep yourself private. You've been dating for the past 5-6 months. And they caught wind of it through family, or, maybe it's something that you said, or maybe they saw you out somewhere. Because this is, again, somebody watching from afar. Here you are, you get in the car with your new woman or your new man, and they like, damn. They try to come in and try to break that stuff up. They like, wait a minute, no, hold on. They just got together. It ain't strong yet. Let me go in here and break this up with Taurus. This is what some of you guys are going to experience with somebody, okay? And if you are single, the only thing that I'm saying with this one is that this is going to be the person that's going to help you move on from the person that you've been dealing with, or the people, or the energy, the feelings that you've been feeling about love, about the lack of love, about not feeling love. This is going to be the person that's going to come in and change your life. So this looks good. Now, let's go ahead. Let's get your last two cards. Man, heavy water, Chariot, Cancer. I told you I had a lot of water here. Everywhere. Look how thick this deck is. That came out. Remember when Spirit wanted me to keep going? Again, This is what you are dealing with, what some of you have dealt with, and what you could be dealing with. And it doesn't mean that it's necessarily, bad on your end. This could be you having some type of option. But I can tell you for the most part, there are secrets here that you're going to find out. And this is what came out right after the Chariot. Because Chariot talks about what, right? Chariot talks about moving forward, getting your ass back on the road, letting it go, letting the wheels spin, right? And that is how I know. Because you can only get rid of things that is unwanted. You have to remove unwanted shit. You got to purge, especially if you found out that somebody is cheating on you. And with this mofo, even if they are in a panic because you may have found out or they're rushing to keep you from finding out. That's for a few of you. A lot of you, they're rushing back because they end up putting themselves in a really bad situation. They chose wrong. They chose wrong. And you are just not feeling it. This is what I have for you here, Taurus. I thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel. If you are interested in a personal reading, all the information is down below in the description box. Make sure you hit the notification bell.